Liberal journalist mocks Barron Trump in public. His stunning response leaves everyone silent. When a journalist publicly ridiculed Barron Trump, no one expected the 17-year-old's shocking reply that stunned everyone and went viral. It was just another public event for the Trump family, until a liberal journalist crossed the line with a mocking remark about Barron Trump. What happened next? No one saw it coming. As cameras rolled and eyes turned toward Barron, the room braced for a reaction. But instead of anger or embarrassment, Barron's response left everyone speechless. This was more than just a moment. It became a powerful statement. How could a teenager handle such public ridicule with such grace? Stay tuned, because by the end of this story, you'll see Barron in a completely different light. It all started at a high-profile charity event where prominent figures, reporters, and the Trump family gathered. Everything seemed to be going smoothly until a liberal journalist decided to take things too far. In a bid to grab attention and stir controversy, the journalist publicly mocked Barron Trump with an uncalled-for comment. It was one of those moments that instantly sucked the air out of the room. Everyone froze, unsure of how Barron or his family would respond. The journalist, known for pushing boundaries with provocative statements, clearly underestimated Barron. Perhaps they thought he would ignore it or react defensively. But what stood out was the audacity of the remark itself. It wasn't a playful jab. It was a harsh and unnecessary insult directed at a teenager who rarely speaks publicly. Some guests glanced nervously toward the Trump family, while others whispered in disbelief. Even those who often criticized the Trumps felt that the journalist had gone too far this time. After all, Barron wasn't there to make headlines. He was just attending an event with his family. But for some, any association with the Trump name was enough reason to spark controversy, even if it meant targeting a young, private individual. Despite the tension in the room, Barron remained calm. He didn't lash out, nor did he seek help from his parents. Instead, he maintained his composure, as if weighing the situation carefully. People expected a reaction, maybe a heated exchange or an emotional outburst. But what came next was something nobody had anticipated. The journalist's bold statement had backfired. While they might have hoped for a viral moment to boost their platform, they were about to witness a response that would have a far greater impact than any insult ever could. And this was just the beginning. Barron's quiet confidence was about to speak louder than words. The moment the journalist's words echoed through the venue, the energy in the room shifted dramatically. What had started as a typical event turned tense and awkward. Conversations halted, heads turned, and a sense of disbelief swept over the crowd. This wasn't just another controversial statement. It was a pointed, public jab at Barron Trump, someone who had always remained private and far from political theatrics. It was clear to everyone present. A boundary had been crossed. In a room filled with political figures, celebrities, and media personalities, reactions varied. Some of the journalist's peers tried to brush off the comment, chuckling nervously, but many others appeared visibly uncomfortable. A group of attendees near the front exchanged concerned glances, their expressions saying what words couldn't. Did that really just happen? Even those not typically aligned with the Trump family seemed uneasy. It wasn't about politics anymore. It was about basic human decency. A few prominent attendees were quick to voice their disapproval. One influential philanthropist was overheard murmuring, "This feels out of line. Why drag a kid into it?" Another guest, a well-known media figure, looked equally displeased, shaking their head in dismay. What made this incident even more jarring was the setting, an event meant to foster dialogue and unity, not division or personal attacks. Meanwhile, Barron's reaction, or lack of it, became the focal point. All eyes were on him, expecting some sign of distress, anger, or even embarrassment. But Barron didn't flinch. He didn't lower his gaze or retreat into the background. Instead, he stood calmly, his face unreadable, projecting a quiet confidence that caught everyone off guard. The crowd had expected drama, perhaps a confrontation, but Barron's calm composure added an air of suspense, making everyone wonder what was going to happen next. As the silence stretched, a ripple of whispers swept through the room. Some attendees discreetly pulled out their phones, already preparing to record whatever came next. Social media buzzed to life as tweets and posts about the journalist's remark began to circulate. Within minutes, hashtags related to the event trended, with people weighing in on both sides. Supporters of the Trump family expressed outrage, while critics debated whether the comment was justified. Yet amidst the chaos, one sentiment stood out. Mocking a teenager, regardless of politics, felt wrong to many. Despite the growing tension, neither Donald nor Melania Trump reacted immediately. Instead, they exchanged a glance, seemingly waiting to see how Barron would handle the situation. This only added to the anticipation. What would Barron do? Would he retaliate, ignore the insult, or deliver a response no one saw coming? Then Barron did something that silenced even the harshest critics. Without a hint of anger, he took a step forward, his expression as composed as ever. The room, already tense, grew quieter, every guest waiting with bated breath. Barron was about to respond, and whatever he said, or didn't say, was bound to leave a lasting impression. What happened next would become the talk of the event and send shockwaves across social media. As the room fell into an expectant silence, Barron took a calm step forward. His posture was confident, but his expression remained neutral, betraying no sign of anger or frustration. It was a moment that everyone had been waiting for, and it felt like time had momentarily stopped. All eyes were on Barron as he raised his voice just enough to be heard over the hushed crowd. "Is it really necessary to attack someone's family to make a point?" Barron asked, his voice steady and clear. The simplicity of the question stunned everyone. It wasn't a fiery retort or a dramatic outburst, just a straightforward challenge that cut through the tension in the room like a knife. For a moment, there was complete silence. The journalist, who had confidently made the inflammatory comment moments earlier, shifted uncomfortably in his seat, unsure how to respond. It was as if Barron's words had taken away all the wind from his sails. The question was so simple yet so powerful, it left the room questioning what kind of person publicly mocks a young boy to make a political point. The audience, many of whom had expected Barron to lash out or become visibly upset, were caught off guard by his measured response. There was a subtle shift in the mood around the room. What had once felt like a chaotic and hostile environment now felt like one of reflection. The public was no longer focused on the journalist's words, but on the quiet dignity with which Barron carried himself. As the silence stretched, Barron's words hung in the air, forcing people to confront the line between free speech and respect for others. The journalist, visibly rattled, was left without a comeback. Barron's ability to remain calm and composed in the face of such a provocation spoke volumes. Instead of escalating the situation, he had effortlessly diffused it with just a few words. The aftermath of Barron's composed response quickly turned into a media frenzy. News outlets across the nation erupted with coverage, but the tone was mixed. Some hailed Barron's calm and thoughtful response, praising his maturity beyond his years. Others, however, focused on the journalist's actions, questioning the ethics of mocking a child to make a point. Social media exploded as well, with debates quickly gaining traction. Supporters of Barron flooded platforms with messages of admiration, calling him a true reflection of grace under pressure and a young man who understands what really matters. Hashtags like #Barron Trump and #Respect Barron began trending, with people from all walks of life defending him. On the other hand, some critics took the journalist's side, dismissing Barron's response as a political move orchestrated by his family. They argued that it was a strategic attempt to garner sympathy and shift the public's focus. But those voices were drowned out by the overwhelming support from those who appreciated Barron's dignity in the face of mockery. Meanwhile, news outlets with a more neutral stance began focusing on the broader implications of the incident. Was this an isolated case of a journalist crossing a line? Or was it part of a larger trend of personal attacks becoming normalized in public discourse? The conversation quickly shifted from Barron's reaction to a larger discussion on civility, respect, and the responsibility of public figures, journalists included, to maintain integrity in their reporting. In the days that followed, Barron remained out of the spotlight, letting the controversy unfold without adding fuel to the fire. But his silent strength spoke volumes, and as the media continued to buzz, his response lingered in the minds of many as a powerful reminder of the importance of treating others with respect, no matter their age or status. As the media frenzy surrounding Barron's response intensified, the Trump family's reaction was swift and deliberate. Donald Trump, ever vocal about defending his family, was quick to express his disapproval of the journalist's actions. Taking to social media, the former president made a powerful statement, condemning the mockery of his son as unacceptable and a clear attack on the values of respect and dignity. His tweet sparked even more attention, with supporters rallying behind him, sharing similar sentiments of anger and frustration over the incident. Trump's post echoed a sentiment that many believed resonated with the public. No child, regardless of their family background, should be subjected to such treatment. Melania Trump, Barron's mother, also weighed in, though in a more subdued manner. Known for her private nature, she rarely speaks out on public matters, but this situation was different. Through a spokesperson, Melania released a statement expressing pride in her son's poised response. She praised Barron for his ability to handle the situation with grace and maturity, emphasizing that she and Donald had always taught him the importance of staying true to himself and not engaging in negativity. As for Barron, his parents' support was evident, but they respected his desire for privacy. In their eyes, their son had shown a remarkable level of composure and understanding, something they had always encouraged him to develop. Behind the scenes, the Trump family stood united, protecting Barron and reinforcing the values of respect and family. The incident not only highlighted Barron's character, but also brought the family closer, with the public rallying around them as they navigated this unusual and unfair spotlight. The incident involving Barron Trump and the journalist's public mockery turned into more than just a moment of tension. It became a defining display of resilience. Barron's unexpected response left a lasting impression, silencing critics and showing the world his strength of character. His parents, Donald and Melania, stood firmly by him, ensuring their support was felt throughout the media storm. This episode not only highlighted the complexities of public life for the Trump family, but also sparked a broader conversation about respect, especially when it comes to children of public figures. As the media frenzy continues, one thing is clear: Barron Trump's silence spoke louder than any words could, leaving everyone to reconsider their approach to mocking others. If you found Barron Trump's stunning response as powerful as we did, don't miss out on more stories like this. Hit that subscribe button to stay updated with the latest headlines, surprises, and shocking moments you won't see anywhere else. If you enjoyed this video, like it and share it with your friends. Let's spread the word. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Barron's response and the media's reaction. Drop a comment below and let's start a conversation. Your support helps us bring you more incredible content, so don't forget to turn on notifications too.